I've done some digging, I've run the numbers, I've analyzed every aspect of this tilt-inducing game to see if there's any favoritism in my beloved Overwatch 2. And I've made some heartbreaking discoveries. Please, sit down. This might be hard to hear, but I found that Overwatch 2 has favoritism. It has a little bit of favoritism, stage 4 to be exact. What's that? What's that? You're not shocked at all, and you've already heard this a million times and everyone already talks about that? Yeah, sure, don't care. You're here, and this is different. This is different because this is coming from me, because I went in depth on every little aspect I could think of to calculate how much favoritism there is towards Kiriko versus Venture. And you know my analysis will be spot on because I'm the guy who was brave enough to go through every single R34 entry to prove that the amount of R34 entries directly correlates with how many skins everyone has. The guy who incorporated that exact data to make an AI algorithm that correctly predicted the last 3 mythic skins. And I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure I know who's getting the next one, and I'll get to that in a minute. So let's talk about my unique spin and my twist on this, and how I am personally going through the numbers and my methodology to seeing who Overwatch's darling really is and who Overwatch really hates. So what I ended up doing is I went through the skins and I looked at all of the legendary skins and epic skins that were added in Overwatch 2. So I filtered by shop and battle pass, because everything other than that was before Overwatch 2, other than, you know, some league skins and like the all-star skins and stuff like that, but I'm not counting those because I don't want to. So in terms of normal skins, I broke it up into 4 different categories. They get 5 points for each mythic skin, 3 for legendaries, 2 for legendary recolors, and 1 for epics. On top of that, we have mythic weapons for 4 points and legendary weapons for 2. Now, when you add all of these up, you get a total score, and this total score isn't exactly what we want because heroes like Juno and Venture haven't been out that long. So what we do is we take how many skins per season each hero gets. So we take that number and adjust it for how long they've been out, which is a lot easier than calculating how many days each hero has been out, which is what I did in my last video. So now let's look at the numbers, okay? So coming in at the top, who would have thought? Who would have thought? Literally none of us. Oh my God, I'm actually shocked. I didn't expect this when I made this video. Number 1 is Kiriko, actually, with a score of 69. Nice. Next up is Mercy with a score of 64. And then we got Juno with 62 and Widow with 51. So who's shocked? Come on, raise your hand if you're shocked. No? No one? No one? Okay. Well, maybe this will surprise you, because let's go to the bottom of the list. In dead last place, we have Wrecking Ball. This is a sad day for all the hamsters out there. And, you know, if we take a look back at when I kind of said the correlation between R34 entries and the amount of skins they get, Wrecking Ball, thank God, was at the bottom of the R34 entries. So, you know, good job, horny Overwatch gooners out there. You made us less disappointed than we could have been. In second to last place, we have Baptiste. Third to last, Junkrat. Fourth to last, Venture, obviously. So Venture, you know, you're not the worst. You know, Venture mains, keep up the good work. You know, all that outrage brought you from dead last to almost last. And you know, that really good work there. Really good work, Venture mains. You really put Blizzard to including your main, and good job for that. Now to look at everyone in between, we made a little graph. We made a little graph here at Bean Studios. So here is the adjusted skin distribution chart graph thing. So, you know, I personally, okay, might not be the best at making Excel graphs, which I'm sorry for that. I'm a top 500 Overwatch player, not a top 500 Excel maker. Okay, and this is clear. So if you want to take a closer look at any of them, let me put myself out of the way somehow. I'll do that in post. Come on. Editor Bean will take care of that. It's probably looking pretty much how you would expect. We all know Widow, Ryan, Juno, Mercy, Kiriko are getting all of the skins. You would also expect Winston, Bastion, Zarya, Symmetra, Hog, Doom, you know, all down at the bottom. So if you main those heroes, good for you, because your wallet is saved. You will never be tempted to spend your hard-earned money to give it to a mega corporation. The money just goes to Microsoft now, a $3 trillion company. So good job, Venture mains. You guys aren't spending money, hopefully. And I think now is a good time to take a moment for Mercy mains, Juno mains, Kiriko mains, because they have it hard. They have to show self-control and not buy every skin, or, you know, for those that don't have that self-control, they have to suffer the consequences and go into debt. I know a dozen or so Mercy mains who have sold their houses just to pay for the pink Mercy skin, the Black Cat skin, the new one where she's like in a dress, the mythic weapon where she's flipping the little rat. You know, how can you resist? You literally can't. Now let's go back to our scores, okay? For a few little interesting data points that I thought I would include. The average score for our female characters is 37.7, while the male characters are 29.7. So you know, a good little gap between there. They like making the female skins because, you know, male skins, they have butts, but they don't have boobs. So remember that. Remember that for in case it comes up on a quiz or whatever. And then the average adventure person only has 17, which is really bad. So non-binary folk out there, you're getting screwed over by Blizzard, and let's boycott them. As a wise person once told me, let's get all you they thems to cause some mayhem at the Blizzard studio. I'm not saying burn it down, obviously, but you know, whatever happens, happens. Another interesting thing I found is that the female heroes have 11 mythic skins, while the male heroes have 6. The next thing that's kind of frustrating, honestly, is that there are 5 heroes with legendary weapons, okay? Obviously, there's Mercy, who has 2 of them for some reason. She has the rose gold staff, and then plus the hard light one. And then there's Rhine that has one. And then who else? Reaper and Soldier also have one. And do these names sound familiar? Because they all also have mythic weapons for some reason, okay? The only one that doesn't is Junkrat, but you know, maybe next season. Who knows? I do, and I'm not going to tell you yet. First, I want to talk about one more part of the favoritism that I think is very important, and that is what heroes get put into Stadium. I adjusted this calculation. I added a point value to each of the heroes that are in Stadium. So every hero that was put into the launch of Stadium gets 10 points, 7 points for next season, and 5 for the other seasons. And then I fudged the numbers like Freya is between the 2 seasons, so I took the average. But anyways, so I have a point value for each of the heroes in Stadium, which is something you might have noticed, maybe for financial reasons. I don't know, Blizzard, but the heroes with the most skins also were put into Stadium. Mercy, Juno, Kiriko, Rhine are all in Stadium. I made a TikTok about this. It kind of talks about how heroes that have mythic skins are way more likely to be added to Stadium. And from what they've announced so far, the only hero with the mythic skin that's not going to be in Stadium is Widow, which I just feel like she's a weird one to balance in like the scope and everything. It's a weird one for third person, and I don't know, balancing one shots. Here's the new graph. You know, you can see, so the old graph I just showed is going to be in red, okay, and with the new Stadium stuff is in blue, okay? Kiriko's new score is 79, Mercy 74, Juno 72, and then at the bottom, the sad, pathetic heroes, Wrecking Ball only 15, Venture now in second to last at 17, Hazard 17, BAP 19, and Bastion 21. Now that we've established that there definitely is favoritism in Overwatch, let's talk about why this might be. Because it wasn't always like this. The game of inclusivity and diversity included all of the heroes with a diverse set of legendary skins for all, and none of Overwatch's precious children were left behind. Here's a little thing I found on Reddit in the process of making this video. Someone did the work that I didn't want to do, where they added all of the Overwatch 1 skins, and you know, you can see it used to be a lot more balanced in who would get the legendaries, and when someone wouldn't get a legendary for like a few seasons, everyone would be like, come on Blizzard, what's going on here? What's going on? Wrecking Ball hasn't gotten a skin. And it's like they would listen, they would actually give Wrecking Ball a skin. So what caused this major shift in Overwatch's philosophy from giving everyone skins to just giving them to the poster girls? Here's a theory. That was Overwatch 1. More like overwoke. Oh, let's give skins to unconventionally attractive characters in the name of fairness. Boring. Go woke, go broke. Overwatch 2 said, let's give skins to all the hot white girls and maybe a couple of big strong men. Let's give all the heroes that have the skins, we'll give them mythic weapons too. We'll let them all into Stadium, and we'll let the rest of the roster rot away in loserland like they deserve. Overwatch 2 said, fuck including everyone. Fuck wokeness. You know what? While we're at it, ICE, deport Sombra out of our comp games. That was all a bit, okay? That's not the case at all. I don't think that's the case at all. I think it's obviously explained by a much more obvious reason, which is money, which, you know, that's what Overwatch 2 is all about. They said, hey, what if the sequel was just the same game, but with more ways for us to make money? And we fought for it. We're still here. You're watching a video on Overwatch 2 like a freaking dummy. And look at me, even worse. I'm making a video on Overwatch 2 like a complete idiot. Overwatch went from loot boxes to buying skins directly. So back in the day, if you bought a loot box, you would get a random skin. And let's say you're a Mercy man. Oh no, there's only 8 Mercy skins. I got a Wrecking Ball skin, which if he's out yet, I got a Tracer skin. I got to buy more loot boxes because I really want a Mercy skin. Oh, you know, doesn't that make a lot of sense to make everyone have the same amount of skins when the whole shop system revolves around gambling? Pretty cool. So Overwatch 2, now that they have a shop where people can buy skins directly, now there's a lot more financial incentive to not make Wrecking Ball skins, because like, who cares? A lot of people who play Wrecking Ball only play Wrecking Ball, while someone who plays Juno also plays Mercy. They also play Kiriko and Ana. So let's give all of those heroes more skins so that you buy them. Venturemans are freaks and don't deserve skins, and there's no financial thing about that. They would buy the skins, but they don't deserve them. So now that we know definitively that Overwatch and Blizzard, they just care about money and they don't care about your hero unless they can make money off of you, I think, honestly, let's protest this, right? Let's put our wallets down. Let's not give any more money to Blizzard, okay? We got that? On that note, let's talk about what hero is going to get the next Mythic skin so you can pull out your wallet and get that too. Because, okay, you know, we're protesting, we're not gonna buy any skins, but we already have the Mythic Prisms, and if we don't, we'll just buy a couple because we're gonna like, because they're really cool and they like have shiny effects. So, you know, screw everything I just said about protesting. Like, the next Mythic skin is gonna be really cool. So I previously talked about this, and you could watch that video if you want, because I'm really funny and cool and you could watch all of my stuff. And if you want to find out, you know, if I was right or wrong, you know, if you want to come back and leave a comment saying, oh, you're so stupid, make sure you like this video so you could go through your liked videos and see, or I mean, even subscribe, because then you could just go to your subscripted channels to find me and say, hey, you're stupid, or hey, congratulations, you're super smart. And I can't believe you predicted it again. That's so like handsome of you. And I'll say, yeah, it's no big deal. It's kind of what I do. So I thought about making an adjustment to my previous calculation. I thought that maybe if we take how many mains each hero has, like maybe they'll be more likely to give it, you know, there's a lot of Lucio mains out there, and these Lucio mains are hungry for it, you know, a mythic skin, let alone a legendary skin, and not another epic skin, okay? So I kind of think Lucio should be higher up than he was in my last calculation. So, you know, here would be the new order. So what I did is I took how many mains, how many people there are in the subreddits for each of these characters, and that would move Lucio up to number 1, then Sombra, Pharah, and Brig. Okay, that's going to be our top 3. That's going to be our top 4, and we're going to add in May is the next one to make our top 5, okay? And this new calculation also brings Venture way away from the bottom. Venture's now like mid-tier, which is pretty cool. The least likely now is Mauga, Sojourn, Echo, okay? This was my new idea for the calculation, but I'm kind of throwing that aside. So the old calculation put Pharah at number 1, and I've never been so certain about this, okay? Because they kind of just gave the game away. So after I realized that all of the heroes with mythic skins are being added to Stadium, I was a little stumped, because I looked at the roadmap and the next 3 heroes were Sojourn, Winston, and Brig. And I looked at my list and I'm like, this is crazy. Brig is the highest on my list of those 3 at number 5, at the 5th most likely. And I kind of got scared. I was like, I was wrong. I was wrong. That whole list was wrong. Blizzard and Overwatch typically didn't like putting out roadmaps and talking about things in the future because they like to be certain about what's coming up. But the crazy thing is, things change pretty quickly, and a hero that they said was going to be in Season 18 was Sojourn, and she got bumped out for Pharah, my number 1 guess. So I am saying this with 100% certainty, the next mythic skin is going to be Pharah, or Lucio, or Brig, or you know, someone that's already in Stadium. I don't know. Cassidy would be my next guess. And then my next guess after that would be Soldier. Okay. But it's 100% going to be Pharah. With 25 heroes left to give mythic skins, it's a 4% chance I'm right. And I'm honestly to put that on the line and say that because if I'm right, it's really cool. And I just want validation from people. And I want people to say, wow, that guy's so smart. He might be guessing. He might be putting random variables into a spreadsheet and he's guessing off of that. But, you know, I mean, I was right before, which was pretty crazy, so maybe I'm right again. But on that note, I am done recording this stupid video. It's probably not even gonna be good. I've been recording this video for 47 minutes, so tell me how long it is at the end, because you know, this takes forever because I'm really awkward and anxious and I don't talk very good and stuff like that. So subscribe for all the effort I put in because I make it with love. Oh, here's the thing. Here's a cool thing that's coming up. Another stupid thing I'm doing for some reason. I like putting way too much effort into making weird Overwatch things. I'm gonna be streaming every day for a month straight because I'm a psychotic. Even though I only streamed a few times in my life, I'm gonna do that. So, you know, follow me on Twitch or YouTube because you can see it on YouTube as well. But I'm gonna do that, and then on top of that, I've been talking a lot about this, you know, this kind of reality TV show I wanted to make, and I actually am not doing that for now because not enough people joined the Discord server and wanted to do it. Or actually, people joined the Discord server, and then I kind of like fell off the earth for like a month because I was on bad meds that kind of fucked with me. Or like almost 2 months, I was kind of just like, I was just clocked out of it. So when I got back, I was like, hey guys, who still wants to do that reality TV show thing? And I kind of couldn't find the people to do it, which sucks. And then also, you know what else sucks is I showed my friend 2 videos I made. I played them like beginning to end, and I was like, which one do you like better? And then she's like, I like the second one, it's super good. And guess who had PC troubles and lost the whole entire video? This guy did. It had clips going back a year and a half, and it was a lot of effort that I put into it, and that also kind of bummed me out. So I don't know, I'm bouncing back, don't worry. I made this video, you know, 100 views isn't bad, right guys? Come on. Sometimes I think, what am I doing with my life? Oh well.